still at the very beginning in some ways. I'm a little bit more than 40 now, and I'm still as excited as I've always been. There's a great Miles Davis quote that comes to mind: you have to know the rules before you can break them. So that's kind of like how I've been trying to cook, creating something really impactful, really delicious, really creative. Beauty today maybe means something different than it did 15 years ago. Today it's really about effortless beauty. I guess I just got lucky. You know, in the end of the day, cooking is very much a craft. What makes great chefs and great artists is their intention. People say like, oh, I'm not the creative type, that's not really my strength, and I think that is just an excuse. I think every person, every individual is extremely creative. In this environment, in our restaurant at 11 Madison Park, it is not an option to not be creative. I'm a searcher for beauty in art, in design, in architecture, of course in food, in fashion, really anywhere. We created 4 fundamentals for our cuisine. The dish has to be delicious. It has to be beautiful. Every dish has to have an element of creativity. And then the last thing is intention. It needs to have a certain story, and the story can be as simple as 2 ingredients grown next to each other on the same farm. It can be a childhood memory. The duck is actually the only recipe that doesn't change. We do change with the season, what the sauce is and what the garnish is, but the preparation of the duck has remained the same for about 15 years. When I first started cooking, every chef had a duck for 2. So I'm like, okay, I want to be a great chef. I need my great duck. It's about having the right bird. We lacquer it with lavender honey, and we're using Szechuan peppercorn, cumin, and coriander seeds. And for Christmas, we're doing it with these roasted beets. It's full of umami within these beets. And then we roast it in the oven for about 20 minutes. I think it took me like 25 years to start to feel like I'm finding myself who I am as a chef. For most of my career, I just thought about how can I add things, add technique, add ingredients, add courses. But today I'm thinking much more about how to take away. And that has been the most challenging part of my work, because it's much harder to take away than to add. I really want to give people that gift of finding a moment where you're really present. The idea of luxury and the products we think are luxurious, I think has to be rethought. I think in many cases, we're holding on to old ideas. And for me, it was just like, if there is one time to break free from this, to show a different way, it would be now. And so I'm really excited to work with only plant-based ingredients. It was important to me that we could create a meal as delicious as it was before. In the last few years, I've definitely been in the process of removing things. There is an amazing piece by Lucio Fontana, one of my favorite artists, and he made this piece where he cut the canvas. What he did there changed art forever. He really questioned what art was, and he took the canvas and he sort of said, hey, what is painting? Can painting be sculpture? And what is even art? So he asks all these questions, and he is doing it with such a minimal gesture. And for me, that was always beyond inspiring. How can you say so much with doing so little?